Hello, everybody. Today I'm doing Venus Mahadasha, continuing with the Vimshottari Dasha Masterclass. And Venus is quite a long dasha. It is the longest of all the Mahadashas that we experience, 20 years long. So, what to look out for in these dashas and how to analyze the dasha? Hello, I'm Komilla Sutton, and we are talking Venus Mahadasha. And do remember to subscribe, press the bell notification, and also to remember that I'm doing number of these master classes as well as transit, so you don't want to miss out. And again, I want to thank you for your support and watching my channel. So Venus Mahadasha, it is 20 years long. It's a long period, and actually, it is almost like a whole generation when you get Venus Mahadasha. If Venus is good in your chart, this can be an amazing time. But Venus being a benefic planet, generally, he doesn't bring the same struggles as some of the malefics can bring in life. So that is important to know. But Venus generally is not the best dashas for Jupiter rule lagna. So if you are Sagittarius or Pisces lagna, then Venus can be unsettling dasha for you. However, Venus does it with a smile. So you don't realize that you are being unsettled. So maybe it's much easier than if you come across one of the other dashas. So the thing to remember is that with Venus is that you want to see the usual stuff. You want to see, what is its dignity, and then check the dignity, exalted own sign, Multrikona, enemy sign, but also check its strength in the Shadbal, Vimshopak, Ashtaka, Varga. Now, when Venus is uncomfortable enemy sign, it is, you feel unsettled about what it is, what you're doing. Venus is regarded as a guru in Vedic astrology, so he's teaching you something profound, knowledgeable, and good during this dasha. Venus's main karaka is marriage. So during Venus Mahadasha, you can get married. Of course, it has to be the age is right, but these days, people are marrying at any stage or meeting significant relationships. So age doesn't matter. But Venus is also about luxury and comfort. So it is definitely something that you want, luxury and comfort and wealth during Venus Dasha. So that is important to see with Venus. Venus is not, so changeable. It changes. It's a more steady experience. I think the thing to remember about Venus Dasha is that you have to see how close it is to the sun, because Venus orbits close to the sun, so it can be compassed too close to the sun. So that is something to check out for. Then, what are the other conjunctions? Venus, is it very close to Saturn, or Saturn and Venus are friends? So it can be a very big Raja Yoga also for you, Venus, Saturn together. And it can definitely bring money for you. But Venus, Saturn is always a bit challenging, obstructive. Venus, Rahu, Venus, Ketu combinations. Then Venus, Moon also together, they can be too romantic, too idealistic. So you need to watch that. Of course, I told you if it's too close to the sun, then you need to watch out for it. But generally, thing about Venus is because it is a 20-year long dasha, the sub periods will also be quite long. So, each period takes substantial amount of time. couple of years, minimum is 1 year of the sub period. So therefore, it's not all changeable and unsettled that you can see. And the most important thing is after Ketu comes Venus. So we are relaxing into Venus. After Rahu comes Jupiter. After Ketu comes Venus. So the start of Venus Dasha, there's a sigh of relief because you can suddenly think clearly, and that headlessness of Rahu has gone. So that is a good element of the start of the Venus Dasha. And as far as Venus, you have to see what houses it rules from the Lagna. So what houses it rules? Is it a good planet for your Lagna or not? But then you want to also study the chart from the Chandra Lagna. Remember, for the Dashas, the Chandra Lagna is important because the whole Dasha concept is from the Chandra Lagna. So the Chandra Lagna is very important. So where does Venus fall from the Chandra Lagna? What I've noticed is sometimes that from the Lagna, the planet is not so well placed, but if he's well placed from Chandra Lagna, it makes all the difference. So you want to turn it around and see. And then finally, you want to bring Venus to as the Lagna itself. So turn the chart and see everything from Venus's point of view. Is Venus creating any yogas? Is there Mahapurusha yoga? Any yoga that if Venus is involved in, those yogas will come to fruition during the Venus Dasha. And then when you are looking from Venus's point of view, actually you're looking at two things for the sub-periods. Firstly, is the planet, the sub-lord, badly placed from the Lagna, moon Lagna, and then finally, most important is from the Lagna, Shukra is Lagna, because when Shukra is the present day experience. So if a planet is well placed from Shukra, which is Venus, then he's going to deliver results during his sub period. And are there any new yogas being formed? So, for example, you may have, Saturn in Capricorn and Venus is in Cancer. So during this Dasha, you get Mahapurusha yoga for Saturn. However, from the Lagna, you are Leo Lagna. So this is in your sixth house. So it's not a yoga in the sixth house. And but from the Venus, so what happens is that the first bhukti is always like Venus. So that you are usually seeing from Lagna point of view, moon point of view. You don't see it from Venus's own point of view because Venus is the Dasha Lord. And when you go to the next sub periods, you start seeing where the sub period, the Antara Lord is placed from Venus. So again, any planets that are placed in 6th, 8th, and 12th from Venus, those are difficult energies. And so you see that those are Dushtana houses. That means that during their periods, there will be some challenges for 6th house, transformation for 8th house, loss for 12th house. So you are conscious of those periods. If you don't have any, then that is a blessing as well. You want to see where the Lord of Venus is placed and if he's well placed from Venus himself. And then that Dasha of Venus and its Lord, it becomes one of the ski dashas of the timing. So after Venus, you go to Venus Sun. So Venus is quite a long period, almost 3 years. So Venus will be all about setting this new theme, the new area you're in, getting comfortable in it. All the results of Venus will be in that. I mean, intense results of Venus. Then Venus remains the Mahadasha Lord. But the Bhukti Lord starts saying something. It's like when children grow up. As first the parents are saying everything. Then as the children grow up, they start having a say in the agenda and they start questioning you. So the Bhukti Lords are very important. So the Bhukti or Antara. So then after Venus comes Venus Sun. And Sun, of course, is authority and power. Venus Sun don't have a very good relationship with each other, but generally I've not noticed anything dramatically negative about Venus Sun. Of course, you have to see what house the Sun rules for you from the Lagna and also from Venus's point of view and the strength of the Sun as well. Then you get Venus Moon. Now, Venus Moon are actually quite a complex dasha because Moon is very indulgent and so is Venus. So together they can encourage self-indulgence. And from a point of view, yogic point of view or a spiritual point of view, it's not always the best thing. And also, you can be too much controlled by your desires. So, but it can make good sense to you, then it is fine. And it can be a lot of fun and a lot of indulgences. And Venus Mars is again not the easiest energy. Actually, what happens in Venus Dasha is Venus, Sun, Moon, Mars. These are planets that don't vibrate well with Venus. So the start of Venus Dasha sometimes can be uncomfortable. Mars is also very passionate and it is fire, and Venus is a water sign. So not Venus itself in the elements, Venus rules the water element. So this is a mixture of fire and water. And sometimes there can be a lot of heat, a lot of passion, a lot of steam around. But also they are not always, it's things happening very quickly and very impulsively. And those are things you need to watch out for. So the first three sub-dashas, antaras of Venus, they are not the best for Venus. So, so that is the way you need to be careful about. Then Venus, Rahu. Now, actually, Shukracharya, the deity connected to Venus, is the guru, the sage. And he is the guru of Rahu. So Venus Rahu can be quite a good dasha for Venus. It is not necessarily negative. It can be quite a good dasha for Venus. So not to be thrown by Rahu, especially if Rahu is well placed from the Lagna as well as from the Shukra. It is well placed. Rahu can be quite spectacular. Venus Jupiter. After Rahu comes Jupiter. Now Jupiter is the other guru. So Venus Jupiter can be too much of a good thing. Usually Jupiter can mislead Venus, and Venus doesn't like Jupiter. They mistrust each other. So often we think, oh, two benefics together, that will be wonderful. But from Venus's point of view, Jupiter is is the enemy or neutral. They don't really trust each other. They're two gurus. Sometimes you're doing too many things, or you're studying too many things, or you're over expanding without thinking about what you want to do. So Venus, Jupiter is always handled with care. Now come to Venus, Saturn. Now Saturn is a very good planet for Venus. They are friends. For all Venus signs, Saturn is Raja Yoga Karaka. So this can be a very good sub-period and very constructive in getting things done. But there's something about Venus-Saturn that leads to change. So it is said in India that when Venus-Saturn comes, there's some transformation or change. And I think what it is that in Venus Dasha, when Shani comes, Shani is the disciple of Shukracharya, of Shukra. So therefore, the disciple also changes the guru. So there is some new ideas come to you, and transformation is there. So always look at it not as a negative thing, but as something that can lead to change. And, it is a transforming dasha. After that comes Venus-Mercury. Now, Mercury is friends of Venus. This should be a very good time. Lots of achievement, lots of things, easy energy, especially if they are well placed from each other. Mercury's intellect, ideas. And even though Venus gets debilitated in Mercury's sign, actually you don't see that happening in the dasha. The dasha is very productive, lots of things happening, and an easy time. Now, after that, you come to the last sub-period, which is Venus-Ketu. Now, Venus-Ketu is the end of the dasha. And it is very complicated. One of the complicated Chidra Dashas. All Chidra Dashas are complicated, but the thing about Venus Ketu is that after 20 years, suddenly your Dasha is ending and you're not ready for it. I have seen people really create difficulty in Venus Ketu for themselves because they don't understand the time is changing, your ideas are changing, and Ketu's wanting to reject everything, and they will change their lifestyle, change cities, countries, jobs, everything. Whereas that 1 year of Venus Ketu has to be treated with respect. Always when you get Ketu, you can study Vedic astrology, Jyotish, you can study something spiritual, do something spiritual. But you have to have in the back of your mind that this 20-year period is about to end. The next Dasha is about to start. It is going to be the Sun Dasha. Wait till the Sun to come before making decisions. Don't make decisions in that Venus Ketu. Even if you need to change and, the energy, what you have been comfortable, because Venus will give a lot of comforts and general being comfortable in what you're doing. And that last bit of Ketu has to be treated with care. Now, what about the remedies for Venus? So, as far as remedies are concerned for Venus, Friday is the day of Venus. You can do something special every Friday. You can honor the goddess Lakshmi is the goddess for Venus. You can give donation for food. You can give donation of clothing. You can do some karma yogas, help, selfless service. All those things are good for you to do for Venus. The mantra for Venus, chanting, it is, if it is difficult, you can enhance it by doing these things. So that is it. Again, I request you that leave in the comments anything you like me to teach in the future, as this Vimshottari class is kind of coming to the end. Any questions you have, I'm keeping note of them, and I may make an extra video about that. And again, thank you so much. All the best.